welcome to Toffee TV. It is the starting 11 show for Sunderland in the Carabao Cup. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. Click the little bell for alerts to tell you when a videos come out. And if you want more videos, join us on Patreon. There you go. So Baz, this is the team we've got. This is our team. Don't forget, if you want the team we think Ronald Koeman will pick, that's over on Patreon if you want to see that. But this is the team we're picking. Yeah. Jordan Pickford in goal, definitely. Yeah. He's not gonna put Robles in, or
the team we want, isn't it? No, I'd just leave him in. I want him to play for a few.
Obviously Pickford's gonna play.
I want him to, I don't know. He is for us. He is for us. I want him to play games. I want him to play 15, 20 games on the run, so he's established. Then you can ask about him. Don't ask about him.
4 at the back.
Yeah.
Kenny.
Joe in. He's in.
No Harry Potter.
No Harry Potter's been
the cursed child. Don't be the cursed child.
Joe Kenny in at right back. Let's see what all the fuss is about from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll just get in there, play well, prove that he should be Everton's starting right back till, well, for the foreseeable future.
Definitely.
So that when Seamus Coleman does come back, number one, he doesn't need to be rushed.
No.
And number two, we've got a real battle, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, every position.
Inside, Holgate.
Yeah, nice.
Centre back.
Got to give him. To me, it's Kenny or Coleman or it's probably all Martina. Yeah. They're probably the three playing for it. Holgate, he comes in, does a decent job at right back, but I don't think anybody really sees. Otherwise, he'd be the right back.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he?
Yeah.
You know, we've had him for over a year. He's played a lot of games there, and he still gets left out for Martina. So, at some stage, Mason's got to play inside. He's used him in a 3 many a time as the right sided centre back. Let's see what he's like in a 2 alongside Michael Keane, because to me the defence needs freshening up. Williams and Jagielka are too old to be playing all these games. Okay for the squad, I'm coming in for here and there, and I just think it needs freshening up with a bit of youth.
Michael Keane obviously next to him, and Leighton Baines next to him. So you'd want to change Leighton Baines.
I would want to change Baines, right? And Luke Garber played for the 23s on Monday night, his first game back, and he's made up and all that. But he's just not ready, is he? And played enough games.
Will he ever be ready though? I mean, is he just playing because?
Well, maybe because Robinson's out at Bolton. Maybe that's why he's in. But I don't.
But he's got to play games. If he's gonna, there was a player that I honestly thought was going to push and challenge.
I thought he'd be in our first team. Well,
by now, yeah. I remember when he signed that 5-year contract. We did a video on it, because we were so there was rumours that he could be leaving the club, and we were like, oh, we can't have this kid leaving the club, and then signed a 5-year contract, went on loan, and then it just all
wheels fell off. Maybe
he should have been kept around and kept close, and so he could stay at the club and be watched. But yeah, Baines. I mean, the only other player, Baines' understudy is Martina, which is worrying because he can't even play right back. Never mind. Midfield, you've got Garner just sitting in front of the back 4. Yeah, patrolling. Yeah. There was options, obviously. I think if James McCarthy would have been fully fit, I'd have had him in for this kind of game. Mo Bezic is a shout, but I wasn't that impressed against Atalanta last week. And I like Bezic, but I don't know. I just think for Garner, I just think that energy. Sunderland, that's to come out for me. He needs a little blow. No, he needs a little rest. And I just think Garner in there. I would like to see Garner just sitting in front of the back 4 on his own. Yeah, nobody else. Just doing the job he did before Sunderland came, and when he was absolutely amazing. And let's let him do that job. Tom Davies just ahead of him. Yeah, I mean, this is set up as a 4-3-3, but to me, Gylfi would occupy this spot on the left of the, you'd have Garner, and then you'd have Gylfi and Vlasic to go to the right to give us some width, and then these two would stretch over. I think what's good is, I mean, Kenny, I think in this, Kenny and Baines, well, certainly Kenny can give us width. I mean, Tom Davies can obviously tuck inside a little bit, and Sigurdsson can tuck inside, but Tom can do the job anyway. He'll go out there and he'll drive forward and give us energy, and he'll just be happy to play. I think I was thinking about Davy Klassen coming in here, because again, a game, he needs games, doesn't he? But I just think Davis's energy at the moment, I think we could do with getting a few players in who you know what you're getting from at the moment. We're in a little bit of a rut,
for various reasons. You know, we've done it on all the videos why we're where we are. And I think we need to put a few in and you go, I know that he's going to give me 100%, it's going to be everywhere, and that's fine. I don't have to worry about him, even if he doesn't have a great game with the ball. We know what we're getting off him, and I think we need that insurance. You need spark, isn't it?
Definitely.
And them two will give you that. They will give you that.
Sigurdsson, again, he's another one. He needs games, he needs confidence, he needs a goal or an assist or something. But I think it's, to be honest, I'm not necessarily sure it is confidence with Sigurdsson. I just think he needs games and I know he's probably had about 6 games now or something like that, including the games for Iceland. But I think he just needs to keep going and keep going.
I think he needs to get comfortable.
He didn't have a pre-season, which is massive. And we've bought players before who didn't have pre-seasons, and you don't see the best of them till the season after. Or you buy players halfway through the season, you just don't see the best of them, or you buy them with an injury, or for whatever reason they just don't gel in the team straight away because they're always playing, because they don't get that
catch up.
It's the thing about Sigurdsson is he's playing games, and I know they all say match fit, but they're probably not training that much, as in, you know, the nuts and bolts. They'll be training, of course, and they'll be looking at set pieces and stuff for the opposition, but it's game, rest day.
This is what
a game of training, and then
knowing where to play, what run, what will I do? If I run, where will he go? If he gives it me, does he want it back? Does he want? And that only comes. It does come on the training ground, of course it does, but we haven't got the luxury of having a week's training at the moment. We're playing every couple of days, and it's not going well at the minute. So I just think this kind of game for him is what he needs. At Goodison, a game we should win. Yeah, they'll be ready for it. They'll be up and ready to battle. But it's a game we should win, and it's a game that he can kind of thrive on. And hopefully there'll be a big crowd, and he'll get himself a couple of goals.
So you've got Vlasic inside. Obviously, you missed out at Old Trafford. Where exactly do you see his role?
Well, against Atalanta, he was kind of out on the right hand side, but we were so deep in that game. We were all over the place, and I just think with it being a home game, I thought he'd done okay against Spurs when he come on. He was only on for a bit, and I thought, to be honest, I give him man of the match against Atalanta because he just never stopped going. He was always trying to do something on the ball, and on a night when there was very few decent performers, he done okay. So I think he can give us some.
Could this be a diamond with him there?
Well, it could, but I don't. I think sometimes I'd want him to push wide and try and open them up a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe he'd float a bit because Kenny does give you that width. So maybe Vlasic could go in and out, a bit like what Ross Barkley done last year with Seamus Coleman. Ross would come inside with the ball and open them up that way, or he'd go on the outside. He'd have the overlap. Maybe do that kind of thing.
Because I could just imagine him playing it. Because if you look at that, if he was in a diamond there, that's actually a really good diamond. You know, it's actually got a lot of balance to it. And then obviously up front, or certainly Sandro, you got him starting.
Yeah, again for the reason Sigurdsson is. There was I looked at Lookman and people like that, but I just think these are the games we need to be getting our strikers on a bit. We haven't scored. Us as fans, we've seen Rooney's goal in the league at home, and we saw Rooney's goal at Man City away. And I know this is a cup, it's not the league, but I mean, we've had those tough games to follow. We need to start getting players with goals. He needs a goal, because what a goal will do for him is it'll settle him down. It'll make everyone go, oh, he can put the ball in the net, and that'll give confidence in, and himself he'll think, I can do it in a competition, because that's what it's about.
I think Sandro has got something. It's just whether we can get it out of him, and whether he gets up to the speed of the league. But games like this will hopefully get him up to the speed of the game. Just number one, I think he needs to toughen himself up a little bit. He needs to stay on his feet a little bit more. Every time he gets touched, he's got to know it's not going to be a foul. In Spain, it will be a foul. Here, it's not. And saying in a competition like this, they'll try and rough him up a little bit, and because they'll have looked at him and gone, well.
But that's why, to me, I'm going for the big fella.
The Omar is back. Omar coming. So Nias, is he back?
Nias is back, baby. He is back. He gets better every week.
Just gets better by not playing.
That's it. Every week he doesn't play, he gets better. Nias is coming in, mate. He's coming in, and he's turning it up.
Now, we've spoke about Nias. We spoke about it on one of our videos after the Man United game. Now, as we said on that, like if you'd asked us a month ago about Nias, we would have just gone, behave yourselves. But like we've almost just said there, circumstances out of his control have put him effectively into the team, because we're not scoring goals. We don't have anyone who looks like they will score goals. We don't have any look like we have much pace up front. We're not stretching teams. We don't have a willing runner. All of those things are put onto him. Now, whether he can do that job or not, we don't know.
No.
From what we've seen in the past, he wasn't very good. But he went to Hull. He did okay. Crystal Palace maybe just wanted him to travel down to London with Sacco. I don't know why that.
I think they wanted them on loan, to be honest.
Okay, well
because they did. If Sacco wouldn't have gone through, they'd have bought him. And it was a bit what they done with Coney, really.
Yeah.
They wanted that option, and Sacco again, funnily enough, fucked the Coney deal up, and he's ended up with this one. But I think the thing with, I think you made a good point on. It was one of the ones we done last week about Slackwell-Ersey, about him coming in and he wasn't good enough at the start, and people would argue he wasn't good enough at the end either, but he got into the team and he gave us something we didn't have. Now, it didn't mean he was better than the strikers that we had or we could have got. He certainly wasn't better than Jelavic and players like that, but we got Jelavic in. Slackwell-Ersey had to drop back out again, but he came in and he just done a job for us, and he was a rough diamond, and Nias has done, listen, he plays and scores nearly every time he plays for the 23s.
Yeah.
And what we said on the other video was, if this was a kid coming through, if this was Boris Mattis, who we just signed, or someone like that, banging goals, and we'd be going, get him in. We haven't got anyone. He's doing it at the 23s, get him in. Now, not only has he
done... Let me stop you right there.
Well, yeah.
It's the same though, isn't it? Kid, done well for the under-23s. One's called John Joe Kenny, one's called Tom Davies, doing the job at the under-23s. We're all saying give him a chance. So this fella's doing it at the under-23s. Let's try and forget all our preconceptions of the fella, and we've done it ourselves. We can hold our hands up and say, listen, we've wrote this fella off. But, you know...
I think the thing with him, the big thing for me was, I thought Martinez handled it ridiculously. I mean, whether we should have signed him or not, that day, we could have had Dembele for £5 million. And we wouldn't pay it, right? Because we paid 13.5 for him. The rest is history. Came in, it didn't work for that season. Martinez went, Koeman coming, didn't fancy him, and all. But the lad just got his head down and put the ball in the back of the net. But he went to Hull and he played in the Premier League, and he scored the winner against Man United, and he scored a run from the halfway line against Liverpool and slotted. Hello, have any of our players done that for years? I don't think so. He got them some good goals. He had assists. And he was a handful. Now, I'm not saying all of a sudden he's going to save us 40 million quid, because he's not. But what he might do is he might just be a valuable option that you use.
Like Valencia last year.
You know what I mean? Exactly. It's not someone who you go, he's got to be on the first name on that team. He's not Lukaku. Of course he's not. But you know what? He could come in and, just like you said before, he could be an outball. He could literally be, he's not slow, and he will just chase everything. So bang it into the corner and he'll get after it, and he might get you throw-ins and corners and get you 40, 50 yards up the pitch. Everyone's moaning, we're so slow, we've got no pace in the team. This fella isn't slow. He's not lightning, but he ain't slow.
And I think the other thing is,
he's tall. He's not like 5 foot.
We're basically just describing he's tall, he can run fast.
Well, we haven't seen
Usain Bolt.
But we haven't seen him close quarters, have we?
Well, I was
just 23s for a bit the other week against Spurs when he scored 2 goals. And he scored 2 good goals, had an assist.
Well, what I was going to say was, he has been training with the first team, and that was the first step. Get him back in the first team. And you'd imagine if he hadn't been looking okay in first team training, then the manager would probably just say, nah. No.
I think, listen, David Undre was complimentary about him last season. Said he's got his head down, he's done well for us in the games. He felt he could do the job for the first team, Undre, last year. Obviously not instead of Lukaku, but just in the squad. He went off to Hull, he's come back. Again, he's gone in with Undre. David Undre, he's a great trainer and everything else. Playing, doing well. Koeman said I'll have a look at him, and he's all of a sudden he's back in the squad. So if he, like you just said, if he'd have been crap in training, he would have been swerved. He would have just been, nah, I've got other lads, maybe carry on another 4 weeks, we'll have another look at you. But the fact that he wasn't in the 23s Monday, I think he's definitely going to be on the pitch on Wednesday. without a shadow of a doubt, and that's why we've got him in. And you know what? He's not going to come in and have a touch like Ronaldinho and be amazing, but everyone get behind him because we need him. Now, we need him. That's the way it is. We're paying him, and we need him. And he might end up with 4 or 5 goals till now, but between now and January.
I think another point is if he does play and he does okay, and let's say he scored, then you've got another 3. Well, he'd have another 2 home games then. Obviously, he can't play in the in the
Europa League,
which is just mad.
That is.
That he's not in the squad and Barkley is.
Yeah, it's totally bizarre.
Bizarre.
I want to find out.
But then you have another 2 home games to be like, you're at home. The fans are behind you. They want to do, because you know what, fans do want players to come to do well. Do you remember the game Niako came back?
Yeah.
And he came back and he hit
against Chelsea.
And he smashed one against the bar, didn't he?
The underside of the bar.
Everyone wanted him to do well.
He had a very good game.
He did have a good game.
Jeffers missed an absolute sitter.
But everyone wanted him to do well. Everyone felt like, you know what, whatever's happened, and he's, we were desperate a little bit like now. Hopefully he'll do well, and everyone wanted Staklasi to do well because again it was like that. I thought it was like the Cinderella story. It was like we bought this lad, everyone looked at him and looks like, you're rubbish, but you tried really hard. He got stuck. Moyes had a little look at him and was like, nah, he's not good enough. But then put him into training him for like 4 or 5 months, and then when he came, and then he gave him another go because it was like, when you've trained for 4 or 5 months, you've been playing with professional footballers, Premier League footballers every day, and then suddenly when he came back. Listen, he wasn't much better footballing wise,
but he knew how to play the game.
But he had a bit of nous, and he knew where to run, and he knew how to unsettle players, and he scored a couple of very important goals, and he did that job just for a very small time. He did a job that we needed, and you know what, in football that's sometimes all you need, just someone to do a job. Look at Valencia last season.
Perfect.
He did a job for us. It was perfect for the time, for some games, and then we were like, thanks mate, bye, and he ended up he's got a good little move to Mexico, I think, and he's doing alright. So it worked for everyone. That's why
the squad's there for that reason. Yeah. We need someone who's going to come in and give us something different. And if Nias comes in and does alright, great. If he doesn't, well, we've had the luck, but he might just be this player that isn't great, but has a knack of putting the ball in the back of the net. And you know what, at the moment we can't buy a goal.
We can't.
So if he comes in and does nothing for 65 minutes and the ball drops to his foot and he puts it in the back of the net, that'll do me, because we had a world-class striker who done that for quite a few games last season where he didn't do much, but when he had the chance he put it in. Not liking him to Lukaku, but I'm just saying sometimes they're key. You have all these players who do everything else.
Listen, you have players that sometimes hit a run of form and for some reason just goes in all the time. Look at Jelavic. Jelavic for 6 months or whatever it was, or 4 months, was the best striker in the world, and then suddenly it was like turning a tap off. It just went.
It's called Marouane Fellaini.
Well, yeah, it was, yeah, but and then he couldn't buy a goal. Like he had scored 1 in a year, didn't he?
Because everything.
I know, but
there was even reasons, but even if he'd have stayed, it did go. But remember thinking from Newcastle, Papa Cisse.
Yeah.
Them 2 came in, and you were like, oh my god, these 2 up front, they win the league, any team.
And then
4 months later, the pair of them were horrendous.
So it happens, doesn't it? Sometimes. And if he could score, and he just got into a little run of form, and you know what? Even if he scored 1 tomorrow, if he played tomorrow night and scored, and then people would go, you know what? Maybe he is that option off the bench in games, or
we could be those games where 20 minutes to go, we need someone to stretch, or we're winning, but we need to get us up the pitch because we're getting further and further back and it's not working. Bang, get Nias on 15-20 minutes, let him run. He played most games for Hull and played that Marco Silva. A lot of people calling him a great manager. He wouldn't have played him, would he? Would have put him in the team and be in quite a lot if he wasn't any good. So he must be all right.
Yeah,
that's it.
We'll wait and see. I mean, that for me, there's only one way to find out, and that's by playing him. And it's as simple as that. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who would you have in? I know obviously you could have Dominic Calvert-Lewin in there, or Ademola Lookman, or
I mean, there is
Ashley Williams.
Lookman is a shout. There is a case for Lookman because he potentially more than Vlasic, potentially more than Sigurdsson for this kind of game, of course. But
Alice
players you actually want to play.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments. I think that looks alright. That should be a team capable of beating Sunderland anyway.
Comfortably beating Sunderland.
Well, there you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching Toffee TV, and we'll see you later.